Hey everyone, finally back at spending a couple minutes on the 60 Caddy two-door that we grabbed out of northern Vermont, and the one that's been sitting since 83 or 84. So I was going to do a comet wash on this thing and then try buffing it after that just to kind of see what it'll look like, because I think it's going to have some good patina to it. But I was looking at it, I'm curious what it's going to do just strictly with buffing with the strong compound. So I have the buffer here and stuff like that. So I'm going to give it just a little start in a little area and see how it looks. And if it looks good, we'll continue on with it. If not, we may stop, do the comet wash. Because the comet wash is kind of a borderline of a really fine wet sanding when you do that with like a Scotch-Brite pad. So sometimes it does help for it to buff better and look a little better, but I'm just kind of curious as to how it'll look just on its own. So this is what we're looking at the moment. I mean, she's crusty, but I think this is all gonna look really good once this gets a little bit of a shine on it, and probably do some sort of patina sauce on it. But it's, you know, it's pretty well faded. You can see where the weeds were whipping back and forth at it. Well, not whipping, but just swaying. So I think it's gonna shine pretty decent. It'll start showing. That's a big a low spot. That's a dent. It's gonna start showing all the imperfections in the body also, as far as any little dents or dimples. There's really not much paint left on the roof, but I think the edges will look pretty good. And all down here, I think there's just enough paint left on the trunk for the trunk to have some good character to it. So let's try it with the buffer. And all my buffing stuff, it's in the back of my truck. And the reason why I bring it up is the 400 I bought for the Charger. I had that in the bed of my brother's truck. My truck has a cap on it, so I was able to put it in here. And we were getting rain, and it was the middle of the night, and I wanted to get it in here, and I didn't want to deal with trying to get it on the forks of the tractor and shuffling cars to get the tractor out and all that. So I bumped both trucks together, tailgates together, put ratchet straps from the bed of my truck to the motor. Well, actually I shuffled it around, got it onto a piece of plywood, blocked up, screwed the blocks to the plywood and all that jazz, and strapped it to the bed of this. And then I pulled my brother's truck away like 6 inches and then backed up and let it go over the tailgate. Tighten up the straps, pull the truck forward 6 inches, back up. Did that till I got it in, and then I was able to just ratchet strap it in more, and then I had to pry it the last like foot. But the motor's in here and all my buffing stuff is in behind. So we got the motor in here and the buffing stuff is back in there. So I'm gonna crawl around in here and get that, and we'll get started. It was wicked late at night. I think I got a little bit of video that I tried to get of me shuffling it in there by myself. I was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and it was getting dark, and it was just starting to rain. So if so, I'll clip that in right here. And that's how you very slowly and painfully move a big block Mopar from the bed of one truck into another. Slide a piece of wrestle with it, regret what you just did to your back, to get it tipped up enough on one exhaust pipe and some blocks under the oil filter to get a piece of 1/2-inch plywood under it, and then drop it back onto that, get it balanced up on the balancer with a couple more blocks, and then put some blocks onto the motor mounts, and then put some longer blocks out underneath the exhaust pipes, and then put blocks against the back of the exhaust pipes so they can't slide off, and then partially screw down through the 2x6s that you put down on the flat under the exhaust into that 1/2-inch plywood without going down and hitting the bed, so just catching just enough of friction. And then run a ratchet strap from the corner of this bed back here up to the motor on each side while the tailgates are touching. Pull forward 6 inches, back up, tighten up your ratchet straps, pull forward 6 inches, back up. Keep doing that till it's most of the way off, and then just keep hooking the ratchet straps a little further forward and pulling it back an inch at a time until you get very close, and then you just grab a pry bar and squeak it that extra 10 inches. Again, regretting what you did to your back. Instead of helping your friends, instead of calling your friends that always tell you to call them when you need a hand, you just get things done because it's the middle of the night and you get eaten alive by mosquitoes, and you know you got rain coming from multiple days and you want this thing out of the bed of the truck. Well, we did it. Now, it's in my truck that is not on the road lately. It's registered and everything. It's just I still haven't figured out that random die-in problem. So for right now, it's a space to store that where no mice are going to get to it, and it'll be out of the weather. Gotta make it work one way or another. All right, so we just started touching it some. That's what we're landing with. That's pretty cool in my book. What do you think? Dull to shiny. Rough and dull. Shiny and rough. What do you think? I think that's a good stop. Let's get back to it. Well, that's one side, and that's pretty satisfying for not a lot of work. I mean, it's a big car. I still have to do the whole roof, the whole hood, the whole trunk, the inside of the fins, and the whole other side. The other side I want to straighten the quarter and stuff like that a little bit. I'm not going to do a perfect job, just want to kind of finesse it, and I'm going to be cautious finessing it to not add any more stretch into it or anything like that. So I just want to massage some of the buckling out, and then I'll do that side. But we're about to lose light, so this is a good start, just as a, I guess it's kind of a teaser for what the rest of the car is going to look like. But I'm trying to fit in the time I have to get some content out there for you guys. But this is pretty satisfying for me. Hopefully it was satisfying enough for you. And I was buffing around that molding there, and it was moving a little bit, and I was like, I gotta be careful that thing doesn't shoot off and cause some damage. And I was cautious around it, and then I went to wipe with the rag, and the thing just fell right off. The clips are like gone. So luckily it didn't fall off on the ride home, and I still have it. Studs are rotted off of it, so I'll have to epoxy something in there probably. But either way, I still have the molding, It's not in great shape, but it's better than it being missing. Let's take a look at how the car looks. So overall, I mean, that's got some shine to it. And like I said, it's starting to get dark out, so I'm sorry. It looks nicer than it is. I mean, it did shine up nice. You can see it did shine up nice, but you can see there's all wear through everywhere. There's all the damage and stuff, but it does, like this old single stage paint always like buffs up decent. You can see there's like the worn thin areas, not from buffing. You could already see that before. That's just natural sun baked, maybe previous buffing jobs causing it to thin out some and whatnot. But I'm digging it so far. What do you guys think? And that's no wax on it or anything. That's just a quickie buff job. And one of the things with buffing it is you get to know where all the dents and everything is. Like I didn't see that dent right there before. I didn't see that, so now I saw that. There was a couple others that popped up in the fender that I didn't see before. It's just, there's just a lot of getting to know the car and whatnot. And like I knew there was a bunch of pinholes in that. Well, a bunch of pinholes and 2 actual rot holes. But I mean, the whole wheel well's gone. So I'm going to see if I can get a panel for that, because it does tie right into the rounded edge and stuff if it's not a lot of money. If it is a lot of money, I'll just make it. But that's a big dent I knew about. So that I'll have to work on that. That's got a little bit of stretch to it. That is pretty rough. But I mean, for a patina look, that's pretty good. I can patch in the rocker and the fender and do some patches on the quarters and kind of patina those in pretty well. I'm excited to do the roof and whatnot. We did get a little bit of rain while I was doing it, and then it just got dark. But that's pretty satisfying. And then you'll see on this side, this is the quarter damage I want to rough out a little bit. And again, I'm going to be real careful not to just be slamming this thing. I did pick up some of my body hammers from my storage and porta power. Just kind of push, massage just a little bit, just so it's not, you can see how far caved in it is. It's probably in a good 3 inches. And then rough that molding so it's at least maybe straight. And then we can buff this side and the roof. There's no headliner in it, so I might see if I can massage this dent here a little bit. But it's always a shame that the noses on most of the GMs of this era were painted separate. So they always age out faster than the rest of the car. And a lot of the times, same thing with the trunk lids. And if you look, like, this all didn't age out as the same, and the trunk lid did age out more. So yeah, oh boy. So that's a little something on an update on the Caddy. And tomorrow I got to work on the house. Weather depending, maybe Sunday I'll do some more buffing on this thing. And then as a bit of a teaser, I'm going to try and get that 400 Chrysler motor that I picked up for the Charger. I'm going to see if I can get that thing running on the ground. And I don't have a flywheel. Well, I have a flywheel, but the ring gear is on the torque converter on those. I don't have a transmission or a torque converter for it. And the starter bolts to the bell housing of the transmission. So without the transmission or the torque converter, you don't have a ring gear, you don't have a place to put a starter. But I have an idea. I'm going to try it. I either might make a fool of myself, or it might be really fun. Either way, I got everything laying around to try what I'm going to try. So we'll do that. So I don't know if that'll happen before I finish buffing this. I'll probably try and finish buffing this first, so kind of get that checked off and then do that. But I'm excited to try and get that motor running. So either way, anyway, thanks for stopping back in. This is just a short little one just to show some activity. Don't want you guys to think I abandoned you. Just trying to fit in what I can with my schedule, with working on the house and life and everything else. So we'll get back at it, and we'll get to know this a little better by the time we're done buffing this whole thing. Thanks again. And and I had a handful of people asking about a mailing address to send letters. So I did get a P.O. box. I'll put that in the comment section. Not the comment section, the description. I'll put the P.O. box in the description. And if you guys want to send a letter, feel free. If you want to send some stickers, cool stickers, car emblems, something like that to hang up in the garage, feel free. But anyway, thanks again for stopping in. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll check in soon.